Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, solstice, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope it was a great one. We had a fun holiday here. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share. Let me know if you guys got any good whiskey for Christmas. I can tell you, I did get a couple, but I'm really bad to buy for because I got a lot of stuff. I was just in Ireland. I brought back a whole lot of bottles, so and I think I have most of the stuff on the shelf here, so I'm really bad to buy for. Better to buy for bourbon. It's better chance I don't have it or scotch. Cheers, Freedom Malt. Cheers, Stacy. Can't wait to hear what it is. I'm really excited. I've been thinking about this list, guys, for probably last month. And honestly, I was really worried that it was going to go like all, Ireland only bottles and picks and club bottles that you couldn't get anywhere. And I was actually really glad when I started pulling bottles. There's a good mashup here. There's stuff you can get, definitely. You don't have to be in some special super secret club with a decoder ring to get some of these. Hey, cheers, Mr. Mom. Cheers, Stacy and everybody else. It is good to see you, Mr. Mom. Cheers, Josh Fritz. Good evening, all cheers. Came across, the Delmore or the Dulmore 18-year finished Oloroso sherry for $340. Wondering your opinions on it. Reading the notes and it sounds good. Is it 340 good? Josh, let me know if that's spelled right, or do you mean the Delmore? I do. I like Delmore, to be honest. I know it gets some flack, but I like it. Oh, Peter White, cheers to you. Hope you are doing well up there in Canada. My mouse working here. Hey, cheers, Kathy Huey. Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you too. Liz B in the house. How are you doing, Liz? It is good to see you. Kathy, listening, about to get dinner started. We picked up dinner on the way home earlier. Hey, California Scotty. Cheers, everyone. It is good to see you. We have Taste and Sensibility Slaunch, everybody. Long time listener, first time caller. Hi, Ben. Whiskey Uncensored. Ben is kind of my Irish whiskey mule sometimes. Bless his heart. He's always willing to get me bottles that sometimes just haven't hit Ohio yet. Hey, cheers, Larry 3R. It is good to see you. Richard Crandall, Bushmills Causeway 2021. Which one are you drinking, Richard? I think I have a couple of those. No, I got the 12. No, I have a 21. I have a 21. What the heck is that one? Oh, Sauternes, the Sauternes cask. I have the 2021 Sauternes. Those Causeways are all good, and I almost put a Causeway in the list, Richard, but I picked another Bushmills instead. But you are in super duper, super double secret clubs with Dakota rings. Yeah, I know. I know, but I couldn't pick whiskey that was only available in those clubs. I give better whiskeys than I get because I'm more nerdy than my friends, right? Right? No Dunville's cask strength, thankfully. No, well, Dunville's may have made the list. I've had some pretty stinking good Dunvilles this year. Oh, you do have the Saltards. Okay, so you're drinking this one. That is a great bottle. That is actually one of Lauren McMullen's favorites, who the former brand ambassador at Bushmills. It's one of her favorites. That's a good one. Let me know, guys, what are some of the Irish whiskeys that you guys have had this year that really stood out to you? What are some of the ones that are really good? Peter's going hard in the paint. He's starting with some good ones. Powers John's Lane 12 and Irishman 17 sherry cask. That Irishman 17 is really something special. I can't that honestly that would be on a list every time, but it's been around a little while, so it's not new to me this year. Going with a Bushmills 12 because it's 40%. Oh, okay, so you picked up two on Irish Whiskey Auctions. So, Taste and Sensibility, that's actually a very good intro. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the first one. Now, this one is available. I don't think it's in the US yet. If it is, it's only in a couple places. It's going to be widespread, probably everywhere Bushmills is sold. This sold out when it released in Ireland. It was still available at the distillery. I think they've started restocking places in Ireland. But my first pick for best whiskey of 2024, Bushmills 14 year. This is a brand new release this year. This one is finished in Malaga casks. So if you are a fan of Yellow Spot, this one, you might enjoy this one. What really caught my attention on this one is the fruit. This thing is just fruity all day long, which I don't really get that on Yellow Spot. Yellow Spot, I kind of get more like cotton candy. So this one really, I have a full review of it coming out this week, and I did compare it against the 12 year and the 16. I kind of boarded it on both sides, and it really stood out. I mean, it's an impressive whiskey. It's got a lot of fruit, a bit of hazelnut in there too, which I don't, some people get hazelnut a lot on whiskey. I really don't. Now, this one does have one gigantic flaw that Bushmills still has, and that is it's 40%. Unfortunately, all the core lineup items are 40%, 80 proof. But if you start seeing this one in your stores, guys, it's worth picking up. It really is. Very impressed. We're at Bushmills, get all these beautiful whiskeys put out for us, and some things that haven't even been released yet. And this one stood out. A lot of people in the crowd really, that was their favorite over 20-plus-year-old whiskey. It was the Dalmore. Some of the Scotch people in here might be able to help you with that. I don't see Sugar Kitty in here yet. Sugar Kitty would definitely be able to help you with that. So Dalmore 18 year. So if anybody has had that, let Josh know what you thought of it, or do you think it's worth the retail price on it? Hey, cool running. My internet phone and TV is having issues, so I'm on my mobile, can't tag or see chat. Hope everyone is doing good. Cheers, folks. Cheers to you, cool running. I hope that gets resolved soon. That's always a pain in the pooper when the internet goes down. It's you don't realize how much you rely on it for literally everything. Other than a Jameson pot still did not have many new Irish this year. Dunville's so overpriced in Ontario. Yeah, Dunville's so worth it though. That's one of the few, if you're gonna spend the money on a higher price whiskey, I think I would spend it on Dunville's 18 times before I would spend it on Redbreast. And that's just me. Hey, Shenyang, there you go. Dalmore 18. It's not worth the price tag. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's full of coloring. There's quite a bit of Irish that's got color in it too. So there you go, Josh. Very few 18-year scotches are worth more than 240. This one from Bushmills, it's so different than the rest of the lineup. A lot of grapefruit, tropical fruit, peaches, citrus, mango, a little orange zest. There is a little bit of hazelnut in here. Not a huge amount of spice. It really is more fruit forward. And it really does stand out. I liked the 12. When the 12 is introduced, some people like the 12, some people didn't like the 12. I kind of like the 12, but I like Marsala. Marsala is, if you're a Red Spot fan, that's Marsala. So I was, I'm not a huge Yellow Spot fan, so I was on the fence with this one. But I was honestly, this is an impressive whiskey. I don't know what the retail price is going to be in the US. I think this was like, oh, I want to say it was like 65, 70 pounds at the distillery, I think. Cool Running could tell us the conversion. I don't know the conversion off the top of my head, but yeah, I think it was right around in there. And that tracks because the 12 year in the US, which is this one right here in the blue, this one I think was $65. So you're figuring this is probably going to be about 80, 85, 100. There is a substantial jump up to the 16. The 16, I think, is retailing, gosh, I think it's up to 140, something ridiculous like that. I can remember my first bottle of 16, I paid $70. And that was the most expensive bottle I bought. Those were the days. Those were the days. Now I think nothing of dropping that on a bottle. E150 is delicious. I just, I get it. I do get it. In the budget bottles where, people who don't know, and, you're just picking up a bottle of Jameson on the shelf, you want them all to look the same. But you guys are whiskey drinkers. You probably don't care if it's got color in. I want to see what it looks like. I know what, a 20-year-old bourbon finished Irish single grain whiskey should look like. I know it's not supposed to look this dark. So don't add it to my whiskey. Get off my soapbox now. There you go. Yeah, a few more tips. Close to $350 price tag. If you want a great Highland Sherry Bomb at 18 years old, get the Glendronach 18, just south of 200. That's a really good recommendation. Thank you, Shenyang. Peter doesn't think anything are worth 200 unless it's a special cask strength. Yeah, I'm kind of, I could see that. I do, I'm willing to pay that for a cask strength bottle. Truly am. Hey, Eric Gunderson, cheers to you. And that's why I should just stay in the bourbon lane. Come to the Irish side, Josh. We would love to have you. Love to have you. Pull up a seat. Yeah, let me know what are some of the whiskeys you guys have had that have been really good this year. This year was hard. This year I am fortunate. I got exposed to a lot of good Irish whiskey this year. This is just the nose on this is just kind of beckoning you. It is so tropical. It kind of reminds me of, like they're like these Laffy Taffy kind of roll up things. And it reminds me of that, just the amount of fruit coming off of that. Although this one doesn't really have that waxiness to it or that kind of chalkiness. That may be a little bit of kind of like a Christmas cake. That's really yummy. So this year started with the big Ohio Cask and Craft collection. So I got invited to go, me and a whole bunch of other channels and bars and stuff got invited to kind of a preview event for that. So I got to try a lot of really good Irish whiskey at that. Went to Ireland, got exposed to a whole lot more Irish whiskey. Been a couple clubs. So this is, I had to really sit down and I wanted to spend a lot of time on this list and come up with stuff that really did kind of stand out to me. Not necessarily, they're not all most expensive bottles. I don't think, you don't necessarily have to drop $500 just to get a really good bottle of whiskey. So let me know at the end of this what you think. So first one, Bushmills 14. I'm gonna set that over here. And that one is available. You will be able to buy that one pretty easily too. Should be everywhere. Oh, you like rye as well? Yeah, see, I'm a rye. I'm a rye fan. I'll take rye over bourbon any day. It seems to be most Irish whiskey drinkers prefer rye. Method Madness Amburana, outstanding bottle. Richard Crandall, I wish I'd have picked that one up in Ireland. I did not have the opportunity. My husband was feeling a bit under the weather when we were on our way back. So I was kind of rushed through duty free and I just picked up 2 bottles that I actually still need to do a review on. And did I pick up the right? Yeah, I picked up the right one. Okay. But I wanted to pick that one up. That was one I really wanted to. I didn't get a chance, but it'll always be around. These bottles, even these ones that I'm telling you are not available anymore. They're always available. There are, if you're in a state where you can have alcohol shipped in, Irish whiskey auctions, great spot. You can always secondary market. You can find bottles, and sometimes you can find them for less than they retailed for. Whiskey bitters is another one that a lot of people use, and I've had good luck with. For Irish, anyway. I actually do end up be surprised at how many American bottles end up on there too. And I can get it like a Weller Foolproof. I could have got one just over, I think it was over 100. They had a ton of them listed last month. But I got my husband a bottle of Lagavulin instead for Christmas instead of buying myself that. So Glendronach is 18, is way over 200 now. Oh, okay. I think I've had a Glendronach. All right. So this next one came out early in the year. Um, and this is one that my good friend Whiskey Uncensored also help me locate because it is in my I'm in a control state. This one was pricey here. It still is pricey. I do not think it's worth the price tag. I do think it is one of the best and most outstanding whiskeys I've had this year. I really do. As much as I hate to admit it, it is really, really good. And that is Redbreast Missouri Oak. And my camera doesn't want to focus. Yeah, I'm going to get a new camera this year. So this one is the follow-up to Redbreast Kentucky Oak. I did not care for that one at all. It was actually only about $100 in Ohio, and I thought that was even kind of a stretch. I just did not care for that one. This is 50.5% ABV, this single pot still, and it has been aged in these Missouri Oak bottles. Now this is a U.S. only release. This is some of this is Oloroso sherry. They did 10 months. They came from oak barrels in the Ozark Mountains, the Ozark Forest, I guess. This one is currently retailing for 300. Now, it's your money. I'm not spending 300 on this one. Um, you can locate it for less. If you can locate it for less, it's outstanding. It is outstanding standing bottle. So you need to stop helping. No, please don't, because I already sent you another one I'm looking for that hasn't hit Ohio yet, so I could try to get a review before it hits most of the states. Hey, cheers, Freedom Malts. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. It's good to see you guys. Make sure if you are not subscribed to Freedom Malts, do I have you down? Let me make sure I have you modded. I don't have you modded. Let me mod you up here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can drop your link in chat. Love the Missouri. Yeah, this one is just, it really is something special. So one of my biggest complaints about Redbreast here lately is they haven't really wowed us with a bottle. We had Kentucky Oak. It was all right. Then we had Tawny Port. Yeah, it just, they were throwing these releases out. None of them was really, the last and really truly impressive bottle they have is a Redbreast PX. That was just a core lineup item. I went in to Missouri Oak a little bit hesitant, and a friend of mine sent me a sample of it. So I got to try it before I bought a bottle. It's outstanding. It's worth the money if you can get it for a decent price. I I'd probably go 150, 160 on it. I probably would. 200. Yeah, that's high, but it's still $100 less than where I'm at. So it is non-age stated. Um, I think all of these, they believe that the whiskey is like 8 to 12 years old. It typically is with the entry level Redbreast. I think Stowe is the same way. I think Stowe is the same way. Hey, Richie Z. Cheers, Stacy and whiskey friends. It's good to see you, sir. And Sugar Kitty. Meow. Sugar Kitty, we were just having a discussion about Dalmore 18 and Glendronach 18. I got Kentucky Oak, Redbreast PX, and Missouri Oak. Love them all. Redbreast PX, freaking love it. Freaking love it. Um, Kentucky Oak, I thought it was lacking. It was just, it wasn't oaky enough. It wasn't enough sherry. I wish they'd have done a little more with that one. That sat around here for quite a while. Supposedly, the rumors are that Redbreast pricing is going to start to fall more in line with EU pricing. I think they have realized that we have hit a ceiling here in the US as far as what we're willing to spend on these. And so that's the rumor is they're going to start coming down. Now, some of them we've seen discounted, some of them we haven't. So we'll see how that goes. This one has so much on the nose. It really does kind of have almost a bourbon nose to it. It really does. maybe like a Penelope, kind of like the Penelope 4 grain that has kind of, the different mash bill. The four, which freaking love Penelope. Absolutely love them. And I think, Penelope is one of those that I think Irish whiskey drinkers kind of gravitate to just because of that mash bill. This one is so good. It's so sweet. Kind of like berries and cream with some anise, a little bit of clove there at the end. Nice oakiness, good length of finish. And this is what you want a redbreast to be. This is what you expect a redbreast to be, is this bottle. And there's the reason why this has hit several lists for the best of this year, best of 2024. It is a really good pour. It is. I wish their pricing was a little better, but it's a good pour. We can hope. We can hope it comes down. I mean, caramel coloring 18 and overpriced 18. I've heard of those. We were just discussing actually, yeah, the artificial color, was it E150? Yeah, we were just discussing that. I did get a bottle of I got the bottle of regular Dalmore for my husband. That's one of his garage pours. I keep that in the garage for him for when he's working. So I also got him the Lagavulin Distillers Edition because he's a huge Lagavulin fan. I am not in a position where I could get him like the 25-year, 20 whatever year Lagavulin. That stuff is crazy expensive. But that one was a little more reasonable. Oh, there you go. E150A. Yeah. How's he doing on the OG Offerman? He really enjoys that one. That one is one he only brings out, like, he brought it out right before Thanksgiving. He brought it out when we were over for Christmas, and when we got together for, I think it was, he had a pour of it for the Ohio State Tennessee game because we had people over for that. But that one, he knows that one's a tough one to find, so he only busts that one out first. But same with this one I just got him, the 2024 Distiller Edition. It's the PX one. So that's kind of a special one now too. He only busts that out for special occasions. And then some of them like, Lagavulin 16 and stuff that he knows he can replace. He'll use as like garage whiskey. So he's working in the garage. He's got that. He's got like a handle of Wild Turkey 101. Yeah, Ben, for now, yeah. Hey, Gandy Road. Cheers to you. It's good to see you. I'm on my second pour of the list. I did a list of 7. I tried to do 5. It just wasn't happening, guys. And my second is a Redbreast Missouri Oak. So that is one of my top bottles of the year. Still available. Still lots of them out there. You just got to shop around and find a good price on it. All right, I'm going to put this one in a dump. And we're going to go on, okay. See, the next one I'm going to do, it was a club release. And I tell you, this one was tough for me. This one, I went back and forth probably 1,000 times. The bottle that almost made the cut instead of this one was the Clonakilty single pot still. Really like that one. And I went back and forth between these two, and it just came down to I do enjoy this one a little bit more. And I think I'm going to put this one in a giveaway in January, maybe January, February. I'll get this in a giveaway somehow. So this is Clonakilty single pot still whiskey, but this was a bottle that was done for the Stories and Sips Irish Whiskey Club. This one is a virgin oak finish. So this bottle has been entirely matured in virgin American oak. So it's got very distinct notes that'll remind you of double oak bourbon. Put in here. This is naturally colored. Gorgeous color on this. Just gorgeous color. This one was bottled at 53% ABV. I finally did get a backup of this one. Had enough wherewithal that I'm finally starting to get backups of bottles because I blow through them, I sample them out, and then realize I'm down to like the last little bit. Ah, you're a Missouri Oak fan too. It's a good bottle. It really is a good bottle. Hey, Slaunchy y'all. Slaunchy Leanne. Scotch on the Bayou. If you guys are not subscribed to Scotch on the Bayou, somebody drop Leanne's link in here. Make sure you subscribe. She knows more about Scotch than anybody I know. It is such a fun time watching Leanne, and Leanne is going to be a guest on my channel, and then right before St. Patrick's Day. That is going to be a fun stream because we're going to do all single barrel Irish whiskeys. So that's going to be some fun special bottles. One of them might be in my lineup tonight. Log 16 for me, only other one is worth it is Lion's Fire. All special releases are mediocre, Distiller's Edition marginally. Yeah, I like the one that I got I like, but I like PX. Yeah, I think it's that 26-year ones that he tried that he freaking fell in love with, and I'm like, yeah, I can't spend that kind of money on that. Yes, you love both Clonakilty, but the Stories and Sips is very special. It really is. This is a great bottle. And honestly, on the nose, it does come off almost a little kind of Woodford double oaked. It is really, this was an interesting release. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Stories and Sips Irish Whiskey Club, it is a monthly subscription-based club. You have access to special bottlings throughout the year. This was, we've had this one, we've had some JJ Corey, we've had Cologne, we've had Two Stacks, we've had Short Cross. Believe he's working on a Copeland at the moment. So that one's coming up. I think that's what Garrett said. So it's, it's a whiskey club, kind of like Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, where you have access to these exclusive bottlings. They're a higher ABV, but the flip side is, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society is usually it's a one time a year membership fee. This is $20 a month. So you still, I mean, even without being, you'll still find these on secondary. Not as often, but you'll see them show up. Oh, we got in here. Hey, Donald. Good evening to you, Donald Rance. Donald has graciously offered to be another one of my guests for March. I'm trying to put together some really good guests for March. So hopefully we'll pay attention to chat because when me and Donald get talking about Irish whiskey, it's hard to get a word in. Oh, thank you, Sugar Kitty. Yes, if you are not subscribed to Scotch on the Bayou, it's so much fun watching Leanne. Leanne has some great guests, has some great content. Yeah, we're gonna get our Irish on. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm trying to put together some good guests. You guys know, with local events, with the clubs I'm in here, in Ohio, with the local events that I'm trying to work for different brands, it gets busy. It gets busy leading up to March. So I was trying to plan ahead this time, and I've got some good guests lined up. I'm really excited. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Everybody's saying hi to Leanne. Oh, your favorite Clonakilty is the Private Barrel Select finished in rum cask. Was that the one they did in Ohio, Candy? They did one of those in Ohio. They did rum, cognac, and the Imperial Stout. I freaking love this bottle. This is the most bourbony Irish whiskey. Even a little more than the Missouri Oak. But it's you don't get that one. I got more berries. This one is definitely leaning more towards into the darker, more towards into kind of black coffee, dark chocolate. Still that little bit of clove, a lot more woodiness on this one. This is a really nice. I'm glad I got two of these. This is one that I kind of find myself gravitating towards. Hey, Z-Man. Cheers to you. Cheers, everyone. It's good to see you, Z-Man. Oh yeah, you had the Imperial Stout and the rum. You like the rum better. I think I tried all three. The cognac was really, it was pretty good too. And I'm not a big cognac finish fan, but that one was good too. Honestly, those private single barrel bottles, which you now you can't see them, they're on top. They're above this. Those are such a great buy. Um, from Clonakilty. I think those were only, gosh, I think they were only like $65 in US, and all of them were higher proof. Those are all such a good buy. And if you end up in Connecticut, you go to Irene Tan's store. She's even got more of them. Hey, Steven Scone, Shelf Sippers. Cheers, y'all. How you doing, Steven? All right. Let me put this one. I'll just combine them. I'm getting quite the interesting dump bucket over here. All right. Clonakilty is honestly one of my favorites. I think they're a good deal. I think they're a really good deal for whiskey. They put out some good whiskey too. It's not just that it's a good deal and it's crappy whiskey. It's really good whiskey for the money. And I'm reaching to something every day. I'm not reaching for my, $300 bottle. Oh, you're going to be visiting Irene's shop next year. Oh, you think MG? Yeah, rye does take really well to cognac and rum finishes. The spiciness of the rye just really offsets that sweetness. That's a good point. I am jealous. I hope I have Irene on my show one day because she's got some amazing Irish whiskey picks. She really does. All right, so the next bottle is still available. It is not going to be as available in as many US states. So I got the opportunity to try this one earlier in the year in Ohio. This has been still, I put it in a blind lineup to try to kind of narrow this list down, and it still always scored top of the list. So this is Bua Irish whiskey, a single malt Irish whiskey. This is a white moscatel cask finish. This one is bottled at 58%. This one was done for the state of Ohio. The owners of the brand Bua, one of them is Martin Kennedy. He's an Irishman. I think he lives in Dublin now, I think. The other is Pat Byrne, who is a local resident of Columbus, Ohio. He owns Byrne's Pub here in town. And they created this brand. This year they did 3 kind of single barrel releases for the state. And this was by far my favorite. I mean, this is just, look at that gorgeous color. So this is a 7-year, 7 years old. I think it is. Yeah, 7-year-old single grain that has been sourced from Great Northern Distillery. The other one he actually had 2 versions of a tawny port. Then he also had an imperial stout finished single grain that was actually quite good as well. That one flew off shelves. I know people really enjoyed that one. I liked this one a little more. The tawny ports were good, but I kind of like these tawny ports, so I'm a sucker for a Liberator as far as a port whiskey goes. Oh, thank you, Richie. Yes. Guys, if you are not subscribed to Whiskey Uncensored, it is a fun time. 9 o'clock on Fridays. I think you're at 9, right, Ben? 9 o'clock. It's always a good time. It's pub style. You could jump in, have a good chat with some people who know a lot about whiskey. Hey, James Morgan. Cheers to you. It's good to see you. Yeah, all her picks are crazy good. She has an amazing palate. Oh, thank you. Yeah, just let me know her availability. Oh, let me make sure I got you guys. Oh yeah, the Quebec and rye isn't, that one's different. I did a full review on that one. It's rye, but it's actually only enough rye to make it not qualify as a single pot still. I think under the historic, if they did a 30-30-30, that would be a single pot still whiskey. But I really enjoy that one. I do have, I think, half a bottle of that left. I think I can't see that high. I think I have half a bottle of it left. I really like it. It's like pears. That one is really interesting. I compared that. I think I did compare it to the Powers Irish Rye. Oh, thank you, Richie, for dropping everybody's links in here. Some really great channels. Make sure you guys are all subscribed. I think I got everybody. Ah, there's another good channel. Bourbon Neophyte. Cheers to you, magnificent Irish whiskey people. Cheers to you, Anthony. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Are you going live tonight, Anthony? Let me know. I saw that Trev is doing a Bourbon Wrench is doing a live stream. I think it was Trev. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't. It was 21090. They're doing a live stream tonight at 9. 21090 is. Yeah, we really like that Powers ride to the point that one day after we got back from Ireland, I went and they put it on clearance here in Ohio for 18 bucks and I went and bought 5 bottles of it after we just got back from a freaking whiskey vacation. It was so good. It is really good. And it's so unique. Oh, you are. Okay. Yes. We will be done. Make sure you guys tune in. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 Pacific. Yes, no live wire tonight. 21090 is going live at 9. Yeah, $18, right? My husband loves that one. We still have 3 more in the basement. We've already gone through 2 of them. Hope you guys can't hear that. It's really like windy, so you might hear like some rattling in the window. This smells so, it's so citrusy. It's a whole lot of it's kind of like creamsicle, like oranges and cream. There's a little bit of the maltiness underneath. Oh, you picked up 2 bottles? Yeah. It was one of those bottles that we just go through so much of it. I think this one's half full. Yeah, it's the one on my shelf's half full. And then we have 2 or 3 more downstairs. I think it's 3, but I'm not 100% sure. $18. I mean, I basically walked in and bought all they had. So the palate on this one does mimic what you get on nose. So it's like orange creamsicle, and there's a nice spice to this one too. Like allspice, like more like, well, no, it's more nutmeg. Yeah, it's nutmeg. But it's like a little spice right there at the finish. So spicy nutmeg kind of balances out that sweetness. A little bit malty. It's just it's been such a unique pour. It's nice and sweet, very rich. Nice. It's an oily pour. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it. I was honestly very impressed. The original Bua that is it's available in Ohio. I think it's available in Minnesota, or not Minnesota, Wisconsin. I think it's in Illinois. Um, that one, it's a good, I do use it all summer long for cocktails. It's a little, you do get use on it when you pour it as a neat pour. This one you really you don't get that at all. This was just, it's such a nice bottle. And I really love this orange kind of creamsicle desserty notes you get on this one. It definitely has a dessert pour. Like an Enduro cigar would be really good with this too. Pick up all that richness. This one, unfortunately, this one's only available in Ohio, but there are still bottles on shelves. You can still get this in Ohio. I believe it was, I want to say $70, $79. And it's cask strength, so 58%. So, and those are, yeah, those are still available. I checked right before the stream. Oh, thank you, Richie. And you just poured the Clonakilty single, the Stories and Sips that came to mind. I really like, I'm glad I got more than one of those bottles. I learned after the first few releases to start getting duplicates of everything, because honestly, I'll sample out a whole bottle to people. Speaking of, so the next one I'm going to pour is actually a sample that I am sending out. Hopefully he's not watching. Well, he's already opened the box, so he knows. This has gone out to my guest in 2 weeks, who is Cheech Ardolino from Whiskey Encore. You guys know, of course, I'm gotta bust out my my Cologne Cult glass here. We had to have a Cologne in here, and the one that I just am really impressed with this one. I really enjoy this one. So this was a special bottling done for the Cologne Cult Enthusiast Group, to which I'm a chairman. I'm the chairman of the Cologne cult group for another, what is this, the 29th? Another 2 days. So I'm the 2024. So this one is a bottling done for them. It is the single pot still Irish whiskey. It's called Legendary. This is a blackberry rum finish. So Cologne made a blackberry rum, and it's all the way up there. I can't get it. Earlier in the year, they released their own blackberry rum. They do their own rums. They do a dark rum, they do a peated rum. And they took that cask and finished the single pot still whiskey in it. This one is bottled at 61.12% ABV. You guys know me, you knew I was going to get Cologne in here somehow. Now, this one is a little unique. This is not peated, but it is finished in a peated bourbon cask. So this one, let me see if I can get the insert out of the box. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. Sometimes they're a little difficult. This one's going to be difficult. So this is 8 sacks of malted barley, 4.5 sacks of unmalted barley, 1 sack of malted Maris Otter barley, 1/4 sack of oats, 1/4 sack of wheat. This one does qualify as a single pot still under the GI file. Open top distillation. 3 years in an ex-peated Great Northern Distillery bourbon cask, 6 months in the blackberry rum cask, and then 2 months in an ex-8-year-old Cooley cask. And it doesn't, I'm assuming it's an ex-bourbon Cooley cask. It doesn't really say, but. So this is really nice bottle. That I put this flight together for Cheech. And it didn't start this way, but it kind of ended up, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So I really wanted to kind of showcase what how varied Irish whiskey can be. So one of the things that I sent him is I sent him a sample of this blackberry rum finished Irish whiskey. And I sent him a sample of the blackberry rum that the cask that this was finished in. So he's going to get the opportunity to try the rum itself and try this whiskey that's been finished in that cask. Now, the rum itself is 65% as well. So they're both proofy. I think it's 65 or might even be a little higher. So it's proofy as well. But I'm so excited about that flight. Sent him a couple of the Dunvilles 12 years. Both are finished in a Palo Cortado cask, and they taste nothing alike. I also sent him some Liberator, 2 of the bottles that are cask strength that actually make up the Liberator double port. So he's going to get to try some of the components of an actual Irish whiskey too. So I'm really excited that he's going to be able to see some really unique aspects of Irish whiskey as far as casks, as far as finishings. It's going to be, and that is in 2 weeks on the, let me get calendar here. I think it's the 12th. The 12th, yeah. I am not probably going to stream here next week. We had a death in the family, in my husband's side of the family before Christmas, and we're having a celebration of life next week, so I'm probably not going to stream. But the 12th, mark your calendar for the 12th, we will have Cheech Ardolino. Oh, let me see. Wait. Hey, Christine Vasco, late slaunchy, y'all. Slaunchy to you, Christine. I know I've had some pours that I think you do have. I know you have some Bua. Oh, thank you, Richie. Yeah, I'm actually going to be adding a couple more shirts to the store in anticipation for St. Patrick's Day. I've been working on them for this past year. because it occurred to me I have not added any new merch in a while. Caught up, pull out your rum and raisin. Oh, you like the sound of this cologne. Oh, it smells like berries and cream. I mean, this smells exactly like blackberries with a dollop of cream. So yummy. 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a mash bill with everything but the kitchen sink. Yeah. But that is something I really do love. If you do buy a bottle of the Cologne Baron Tool, you'll get it has an insert card that tells you every single by the sack measurement, tells you the fermentation. It tells you that he did domestic fermentation on this one. He used the wash still, 1,000 liter, 40% full. The spirit still was 800 liter, 20% full, worm tub condensed. You get every single detail that he can possibly give you on these. And he's doing this all by hand. He's only providing measurements on the things that are required for Irish law to provide it. These, you will see these pop up on secondary, so you still can't find this. But the thing about these cult bottles is we tend to snap them up. They don't tend to hit secondary very often. And if they do, it's usually cult people who are snapping them up again. So, you might end up in a bidding war over one of these, but it's a great bottle. Hey, cheers, Roscoe P. Coltrane. Cheers, everyone. It is good to see you. We are down to our last two bottles that made my best of a list. I'll have to send a picture out after this as well. But let me know what you guys have had that is good this year. Let me know what would make your list. Was there an Irish whiskey you had? If you're a bourbon fan, was there an Irish whiskey you had that really kind of that stood out to you? Or Scotch? I know you guys that drink Scotch. You've been known to have Irish whiskey as well. Hey, cheers, Rona McConnell. Good evening. It is good to see you. We are going over some of the best bottles that I had in 2024. We're having the Cologne Baron Tool Cologne Cult bottle, the blackberry rum finish single pot still. And yeah, 3 years old, guys. These are so good at 3 years old. The palate is very much like the nose, but you get more of the cream than the berry. You still do get a lot of the berry, but it's so creamy. The peat does come through a little bit. Not a lot. I mean, honestly, comes across more of as a tobacco note than a peated note. Little bit of spice, long creamy finish on this one. Long creamy finish. No, you guys are talking about it. Hey, Dave Vogel saying, cheers, Stacy, late to the party. It is all good, my friend. This is one of those you want to come back after and just nose the glass because it smells so flipping good. It is just all berries and cream. This is one I did only get one bottle of. So I have been trying to be a little more conservative with that one, but I just thought that'd be such a fun thing for Cheech to be able to try the rum, the actual blackberry rum, and then try this whiskey that's finished on that. So that's gonna be a fun stream. I'm really excited. That's one I'm starting to send blind flights out. I'm not gonna tell people what they are, but that's one that I did want to label because there's a method to the madness on that one. It's gonna be a fun way to really showcase kind of how unique Irish whiskey is. All right. So my next to the last one, this is kind of my runner-up. I had the pleasure of having this one back in March. And full disclosure, you guys know, I do some work for JJ Corey now and then in Ohio. And this is a JJ Corey bottle, but I mean, obviously, I'm happy that I can work as an independent brand ambassador because I can pick brands that I actually do really enjoy their whiskey. You know, obviously I'm still a huge cologne fan, but this whiskey just really stood out to me as it's just phenomenal, phenomenal pour. It is still available. We're getting a little, for these last two, we're getting a little higher end. So this one is J.J. Corey, 21 year. This is the Vintage Select. Beautiful natural color on this. So this one is a 21 year single malt Irish whiskey. This one is totally bourbon cask finish. This has been sourced from Bushmills. This is just a beautiful pour. This one is bottled at, oh, where's it at on here? It made me look. I know it's a cask strength. There it is, 54%. Like, I know it's a cask strength. So it's 54% ABV. This one is still available at retails for $250. It's pricey, but comparison, the 21 year from Bushmills. Now that one is Madeira cask as well as just being ex-bourbon. This is totally ex-bourbon. But that one is, I think, 320. So, and that one is not 54% ABV. So another option to get a 21-year-old Bushmills whiskey for $250 is not a bad deal. Not bad at all. Did you send a flight of cookies to sample? No, but I do have to hit him up because I was going to send her some of my 2 stacks Irish cream shortbread cookies. And I got to figure out, I'm like, do you vacuum seal them? Do you just wrap them up? How do you ship cookies? Oh, thank you, Richie. Yeah, hit that like, hit that share, guys. All that fun stuff that YouTube likes us to do to help the algorithm. Oh, you like the Beer Hut one. I liked that one, but I'm kind of I gravitate more towards the berry notes of this one. Long creamy finish. How did you know my stripper name? It suits you, Ben. It suits you. Oh, let me make sure I'm missing you guys. Yes, Brendan added his own rum cast finish. Brendan, Cologne, for those of you who don't know, yeah, Cologne they make their own rum. They make their own rum. Yes. Oh, you got, 100, what's the conversion, Peter? 175 Canadian? I don't know what that is in US. Yeah, it's 40%. So that is one of the things I kind of stress to people about this one. Like, yeah, it's not a cheap bottle. This is a very, higher end, nice bottle to own. Um, but you're getting a cask strength version of a whiskey too. Oh, 120? Jeez, it's 320 here. That's crazy. And this is tropical fruit. I need to pour a little more of this one. These last two, I'm probably going to pour a little more and finish with them. Because these are just really good bottles. This one I will be probably buying a backup when that one is gone. Yeah, if you're in the Central Ohio area, is it January 10th, I think? Or is it the 8th? January 10th. I actually will have a JJ Corey event at the Jury Room, Columbus. So we're having 4 of the whiskeys there. You get to hang with me for the night. It's going to be fun. I enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is so much tropical fruit. Vanilla, grapefruit, orange, lemon. There's some peaches. Almost got a little kiwi. Oh, it's absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely pour. Palate is the same. Just all of that tropical fruit. I really get the lemon. I get the grapefruit. Kind of get, and that's not kiwi. I'm not, might be a little bit of guava. And it just, the finish is long. The finish is really long on this one. I mean, it's still going. It is so nice. Hey, Independent Joe. Cheers, all. Joe, we have got to get together too and book a date. Joe was kind enough to send me some samples. I am super excited about because Joe sends good samples. So I'm really excited to see that. Oh, I miss, who did I miss? Hey, Miracle Martinez. Cheers and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Thank you for coming in here today. Oh, hey, Naveen Kumar. Hi, I found a Teeling 14-year-old with PX finish for 110. Let me know if you think this is a buy. At 56 ABV for a Teeling 14, I'm assuming that's a single malt. I would get that, honestly. For a cask strength, I think that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. Teeling tends to be, they bought a, I don't know if it'd be that old. They bought a lot of ex-Cooley malt. I don't know if that one would be old enough to be there, still have their ex-Cooley malt, but that at that ABV, if it was regular ABV, I'd say no, but at that ABV, I would buy that one. I would pick that up. I'm a sucker for a PX finish. I like PX finish. That's probably one of my favorites. I tend to gravitate towards the sweeter whiskeys. Joe, drop your link in here too. If somebody hasn't already, make sure you drop your link in here. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Independent Joe. It is such a fun time. Joe got me with the biggest get. Getting that whiskey that was so hard to find. One of the biggest whiskeys, I'm still blown away that you found a freaking Middleton Barrel Club bottle. Let me tell you, this one, you just want to sit back and sip it all day long. It's so good. Finish. The length of the finish really is what it's surprising on this one, how long it is. When you get up into these higher price bottles, I tend to be a little more conservative with saying, yeah, it's a buy. Because I mean, some of them just, the prices are getting kind of crazy. And this one is, I mean, at the cask strength is really what sells it for me on this one. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I want a little bit more proof out of it. I want the cask strength. All right, let me find another glass here. For our last pour. Hey, Dunny. I saw, cheers, Stacy and friends. Oh, Naveen, anytime, my friend. My email is in my description. You're happy to email me anytime and ask about bottles. I get messages all the time. I'm happy to help. If I've had an Irish whiskey, I'm happy to help you. All right. So this was I had a lot of good Irish whiskey this year. This was my number one pick. Wash this out. It is going to be one that is going to be difficult to find. If you find it, it's going to be expensive. I think we paid, it was 325 or 375 pounds for this one. But my number one pick for the year is the Dunville's 23-year Palo Cortado cask finish. This is a friend at hand exclusive. So this bottle was done for the Friend at Hand shop in Belfast. I am working on a video. I took a lot of content. They were really wonderful people at Friend at Hand. They let me record a lot of content there. And I'm putting together a video so you guys can see. It is kind of a whiskey shop and an Irish whiskey museum. It's amazing. Amazing store. And they have two different Dunville's offerings. So they had a 21, and I'm thinking that was a PX. And then they had this 23 that was a Palo Cortado. And my friend recommended this one. Thank you, Brian. I'm glad you did, because this is it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous bottle. I also picked up a Redbreast there. They've done power single cask there, but this is bottled at 53.7% natural color. Beautiful bottle. These Dunville single casks, let me just tell you, they're worth it. They're not cheap. They aren't cheap. But the ones that I've had have been remarkable. If you guys caught Hello Again Whiskey Friends the other night when I joined them, I sent them a 20-year that was a PX finish that was really different. It was one of the most different PX finishes. I normally I get, that orange chocolate on PX, and this one really went deep into cinnamon. Got a lot of cinnamon spice on that one. But all of them are, you do get what you pay for. If now you have to be a sherry fan. Dunville's is known for being sherry bombs. I mean, they are full-on sherry finished whiskeys. But if you like sherry, you're really gonna enjoy that. Oh, let me see here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Richie Z. Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to Joe, Joe is just so much fun. He sends out some really great flights. He has some really good battles on his show. I knew it. Yeah, Peter. The color on that is just wow. Yeah, Dunville's. I had the opportunity to visit Dunville's here a couple months ago, and the 10 I like. The 12 is honestly, I would do 12 as a daily pour if I could get a hold of it. I need to just start buying a case of the 12. Yes, the yeah, Richard, the Dunvilles, the Stories and Sips 12-year, which is another one that I did send that to Cheech. Um, that one is great. Dunville stood a friend at hand, 12-year. They did a 19-year for the Stories and Sips Club that was really phenomenal. They do, PX, they do Palo Cortado, Oloroso. I don't think they've done any Fino. I think Jarlath Watson is the kind of the face behind Dunville's. He said they have not done, I don't think they've done a Fino. I got to try Fino Sherry at Dunville's. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. It's really citrusy. Did Joe's neighbor pay more than $40 for any bottle? Oh, Eric's got the Eric Anderson enjoying the Dunville's 10-year. Yeah, the color on this and the one that I sent to Hello Again Whiskey Friends was, I mean, I think it struck them as odd because they've got one in their lineup that looks suspiciously like bourbon. It's so dark. But I mean, that's a PX sherry. It's very, very dark. Redbreast 12-year. That's a good one too. That's my go-to. That's my go-to anytime I'm doing a blind flight because it's 40% and I've had it 1,000 times, so I know what Redbreast 12 tastes like. Hi, Rancio Sherry. Yes, I know what that means now that you and Morris were discussing that one. It's so good. You still do get, those classic kind of Danish butter cookie notes that I do get with Palo Cortado. But there's tropical fruit mixed in with this. So there's peaches and oranges and just a hint of grapefruit. A whole lot of creaminess to it. There's a little bit of maltiness with this. A little bit of spice. Finish is going for days. I mean, you could walk away a couple minutes and come back to this, and the finish is still there. It's a really, really outstanding pour. And Cologne will always be my first love, but I really do enjoy the Dunvilles. And I'm a big sherry finish fan. This one's a good one. I don't know if there's still some available. There weren't a whole lot when we were there on the shelf, and I know we went in and kind of cleaned house because my husband was very kind to me when we were at that store. He picked me up this one. He picked me up the Gold Spot, the 13-year. Picked me up. I have a Redbreast single cask over here from Friend of Hand. So I think we got something else too. So there may or may not be any left. You might be able to find this one on secondary. This is probably going to be one of the harder ones to find, but that is my list. Let me know. I'll put a picture out later. Let me know what some of the bottles you really enjoyed this year. So coming up, it is 7:05, 7:06. Coming up, because I wanted to get this information out to you now since I'm probably not going to be here next week. So January 12th, mark your calendar. We're gonna have Cheech Ardolino from Whiskey Encore. I sent him a really cool flight, really showcasing Irish whiskey casks and how varied, they can be. I'm super excited about this flight. This is a super fun flight. It didn't intend on being this interesting, but I'm so excited about it. So after that, January 19th, we're gonna have Shane McCarthy from Two Stacks Irish Whiskey. Shane has offered to be my guest on the channel that night. We're gonna be going over some of the Two Stacks. You could see up here, I have a wee bit of Two Stacks in my collection. So I'm really excited about Shane coming on. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Let me pause. You see you guys have some questions in here. Sign of, oh no. No, I have not heard of that one. Um, so you're gonna see some, especially lower proof, and different kinds of Irish whiskey in your area. Some of that is people who had bought casks in the past, almost all that sourced. And you're gonna start see little off bottlings. So they're gonna be one-offs. I can't tell you if they're gonna be any good or not. It just depends on where they sourced it from. If it was a bottle in Ireland, I could tell you where they got it from, because in Ireland they put the county on the label where the whiskey was distilled. So you can tell when, a bottle, like a friend of mine got me a bottle and I was able to read online and it said distilled in the south of Ireland. I'm like, well, that's West Cork. So you can tell where it's coming from. Distilled in County Antrim, it's Bushmills. Um, the ones here you can't. So you're gonna. I saw one the other day. It was Laughing Leprechaun or Flaming Leprechaun or something like that. You're gonna see a lot of those one-offs. Ben sends me pictures of them all the time, and like, there's a lot of casks coming into the market that people have owned, um, and that people just put out there. Oh, which pour is that you can't find? All right, I'm throwing down the gauntlet there, Joe. If you're able to find this, I'll buy the remainder off of you. Dunville's 23 year friend at hand bottle of Palo Cortado. It's a Palo Cortado finish. And it was done for the friend at hand shop in Belfast. Watch Joe. He'll book a flight to Belfast and have it by next week. Athru Keshkoran 14 year. I like Athru. Um, I had a flight of that with Baker Drinks, and I had not had it before. I'd heard positive things about it from friends in Ireland, and I was actually really impressed with that. I think it's a solid, they had some solid stuff. I really liked it. I've not had the opportunity to buy it yet. Honestly, guys, there are so many Irish whiskey releases right now that I've had to kind of rein back and focus on brands that I really like. I'm just not able to buy them all. The latest one, actually, I'll show you guys. This is the latest one we have. This is the Copeland Distillery, their founder's cask 1. So we got the opportunity to visit Copeland. Love Copeland. I'm actually going to hit up Gareth from Copeland and see if he will be a guest on the channel, because we're thinking I might be able to talk him into it. So I'm going to work on that for you guys. Oh, you've seen it in Texas too. Pretty limited. Yeah, I'm going to look that up. I have not heard of that one. I'm going to look that up. Cheech and the Flaming Cheetos. That's a good band name. That's a great band name. Okay. So after we have on the 19th, we're having Shane McCarthy from Two Stacks on the 19th. On the 26th, Marty from Whiskey Knows is going to be a guest. So I'm going to send Marty a flight of whiskey. Then on February 16th, I'm going to have Matt from Whiskey Crusaders. I'm really excited. I know Matt's a big Irish whiskey fan. I talked to I've been wanting to do something with Matt for a long time. And I'm trying to fill up the calendar. I'm like, he would be perfect. So I'm gonna send him some special stuff. I think I'm gonna send him actually the two stacks right here that's peated, because I know Matt's a peated whiskey fan. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, then on March 2nd, our good friend Donald Rance is going to be joining me on here. Donald and I, you guys know, I mean, we're both big Irish whiskey fans. Donald's got so much knowledge about Irish whiskey. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. If there's anything you've ever wanted to know, put it in chat. I guarantee that Donald knows the answer. And then I'm working on a stream on the 16th, which is the day before St. Patrick's Day. I've decided that I wanted to put together a really special stream and do a single barrel St. Patrick's Day. So we're gonna have probably send them this 23 year whiskey. We're gonna do all single barrel Irish whiskey bottles. One of my guests is Leanne from Scotch on the Bayou. The other one, he's confirmed now. I got to keep following up with him because he's really busy schedule. Is Jason from Mash and Drum. Those are two people I really respect their palates, and I thought it'd just be a lot of fun to have these different perspectives. One that focuses on bourbon, one that focuses on Scotch. So I'm gonna be excited about that. Hopefully, I tried to hit him up early because like I said, I'm planning my March and February out. It's going to be crazy busy between the Irish organizations I'm involved with, the local events I'm involved with Irish whiskey, and just booking all this. So I'm trying to get everybody booked out ahead of time. So I'm going to keep following up with them, make sure they're still available on that day. But all goes well. We're going to have a heck of a March. I think it would be a good bottle for Devin. He likes a peat hit. Yeah, my husband likes some. That's actually why I picked that two stacks up. It's their Polaris that's been finished in red wine casks, and it's peated. And he was not able to go there. He was not feeling well. So I picked that bottle up for him. Oh, thank you, Sugar Kitty. Thank you there. And the castle for the Whiskey Crusaders. And Donald. I'm excited about Donald coming on. I haven't gotten to really talk to Donald in a year. Not in this format, so I'm really excited to talk to him. Jason still probably has that Irishman 17 I sent him 2 years ago. Jason has so much whiskey that's it's kind of I understand that when you get to a certain amount of whiskey, it's just impossible. I'm all the time finding stuff like I forgot I even had that. It's crazy. Polaris 3.1 is fantastic. Is that 3.1? Oh, yeah, that is 3.1. I forgot I had bottles down there. Yeah, that is 3.1. I had 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. I got to try 2.1. That's okay. And then I bought 3.1. Those Polaris are good. All right. So, yes, we have a lot coming up on the channel. I'm really excited. Hope you guys are. I'm trying to put on some fun guests. We're going to have a good time. And I don't know if Ben's still in here because Ben, I got some available weekends that I'm going to hit you up as well. I haven't had a chance to, but I'm definitely hitting you up as well. Ben's always a good time. All right. It is 7:13. I am going to sign off, but remember, 7:30 is Bourbon Neophyte Anthony. Make sure you guys jump in, check out his stream. And then 21090 is doing a stream, special stream tonight at 9 p.m. So I'm sure I'll see a lot of you over there. You guys all have a very happy new year. Have a good rest of your week. I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks with special guest Cheech Artolino from Whiskey Encore. Sláinte, everybody.